Hello and welcome to the Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm Nate Washburn. This week the movie's from 1950, Sunset Boulevard, starring Gloria Swanson, William Holden, and Erich Von Stroheim. It was directed by Billy Wilder from a script that he wrote with his writing partner Charles Brackett and another screenwriter named D.M. Marshman Jr. Now, Sunset Boulevard opens with such a really interesting first shot. You see the main character, Joe Gillis, played by William Holden, and he's dead. And then the movie goes from there. The whole story is told in a flashback. Gillis is a screenwriter. He's broke. There's some repo men who are after his car, and he goes to hide from them. They're chasing him. He turns into what he thinks is an abandoned mansion and discovers that the mansion's not abandoned. In fact, Norma Desmond, ex-silent movie star Norma Desmond, lives there in relative seclusion, surrounded by sort of images of her glory days, her superstardom days in the 20s when she was a megastar of movies. You find out sort of the events and what happened leading to Joe Gillis's death. I have to give credit here to director Billy Wilder. This story, it's such an interesting look into sort of the psychology of stardom and what happens to someone when their star fades, when the public stops paying attention, when they're used to all the glitz and the glamour and the flashing cameras, and yet at some point the audience goes away and they're left alone, and sort of what that does to their psychology and their makeup as a person. And Wilder clearly loves the silent era in Hollywood history, and he pays great homage to that, especially in the way that he cast the film. I mean, Gloria Swanson, who plays Norma Desmond, she was a megastar of the silent era. She's one of the highest paid actresses of the 1920s, and all of the pictures that are seen throughout the mansion, those are actually publicity shots from Gloria Swanson's career. Wilder also cast as the butler, as Max, Erich Von Stroheim, who is one of the most bizarre characters to sort of come out of Hollywood history. He was a star director in the 20s whose movies were hits, but he was also notorious for the amount of money he would spend and the amount of footage he would shoot, and he gives an incredible performance. Von Stroheim is kind of like the solid backbone to Norma Desmond's wild antics. Now, the movie was budgeted at $1.75 million. It grossed over $5 million. This is one of the biggest hits of 1950. When the Oscar nominations came out in 1951, Sunset Boulevard was nominated for 11 Oscars, including all 4 acting categories: Best Director, Best Picture. It won only 3. It didn't win any of the acting awards. It won Best Writing, Best Musical Score, and Best Art Direction. It is one of the famous sort of Oscar controversies. 1950 is the year of All About Eve and Born Yesterday. Now, the 2 heavy favorites to win Best Actress were Gloria Swanson in Sunset Boulevard and Bette Davis in All About Eve. What is believed to have happened is that the 2 of them kind of canceled each other out, and Judy Holliday ended up winning Best Actress for her performance in Born Yesterday. A couple little trivia things. In the scene where Norma runs the movie for Joe, she shows him one of her movies, like, you got to see one of my movies. Billy Wilder played footage from a movie called Queen Kelly, which was filmed in 1928 and 1929. It was directed by Erich Von Stroheim and starred Gloria Swanson, and this is the first time that any of the footage of Queen Kelly saw the light of day. It has since been released. You can watch it on DVD, but this is the first time that is actual footage of a film that Erich Von Stroheim shot with Gloria Swanson. And in 1989, Sunset Boulevard was one of the first 25 films chosen for preservation by the Library of Congress in the National Film Registry. This is a very important film. So if you haven't seen Sunset Boulevard, watch it. It is a really interesting look at the psychology of a celebrity, sort of the cult of celebrity, and what happens to someone when the cameras go away. And it has an incredible performance by Gloria Swanson. It is this week's Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm Nate Washburn. Keep watching.